The following program is for adult audiences only.
Time to open up some whoop ass.
We bring the heart to the heartland, where the souls collide, dreams expand, not ours are set. We're bumping chops and running roads in the world of pro wrestling, where the weak will show. From the top row to the depths below, the warriors in the ring with nowhere to go. Blood, sweat, and tears, it's a battle of the wills. We bring the heart to the heartland. Heart to the heartland. Turn the volume up, they can hear from hell. Everyone's ready, so let's ring the bell. Ding, 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 let's start the clock. HCW, yeah, we're bumping chops.
Welcome back to HCW's Bumping Chops, where the chops hurt and the words mean nothing. I'm your host, Billy Simmons, co-owner of Heartland Championship Wrestling. Joining alongside me is my co-host and good friend, Bobby Casey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bumping Chops. Bumping Chops is proudly presented to you by the Chubby Buddy Studio. So if you're a fan of Bumping Chops, make sure you hit that like, possibly subscribe button, leave a comment, questions for all of your wrestling. And on this episode, you're going to have a lot of questions, maybe, I think. And then also, you can listen to Bumping Chops on all Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, still not Apple.
I'm done with Apple, bro. I like their product.
But also, follow the Chubby Buddy Studio on all social media platforms.
And for more information on Heartland Championship Wrestling, follow us at hcwlive23 on all social platforms. That is hcwlive23.
And on today's episode, we've got, we're going to hit you with some wrestling history. This is a big wrestling history, and we both found out today, like, what it was, so we'll get into that. And also, we are going to talk about what's coming up at HCW's Last Chance, hit you with some matches, possibly, I guess, our ladder contender matches. Is that right?
Ooh, number one contender for the ladder match for April, yep.
Yep. We're also going to talk about maybe some matches for Legacy, or...
I mean, a lot of legacy stuff's kind of, coming to light. So we might touch base here and there, but we got a few episodes before then. So we need to say
it's like right around the corner.
Yeah,
it's like right there.
It's coming.
It's going to be there before St. Patty's Day, it feels like.
Nah, we got a little bit.
But we also have a very, very special guest. I think a lot of people will be surprised. I'm not even going to put his picture, I don't think. I'm going to put a little blackout thing and see if people can guess.
Just his silhouette?
Just his silhouette.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. But speaking of our guest, he is one half of Chunkla Violence, the man himself, Mr. Angel Da Paz. What's up, brother?
Hello. How's it going, my friends?
Hey, man, how you been? How's recovery going?
It's been going day by day, taking it slow. It hurts. It's different, but it's something that has made me a more humble person. It's something that has truly tested my physical and mental health, and it's something that is helping me grow for sure. So it's been fun. Honestly, I've had a fun time, and it's odd to say that, but I have been having fun with this recovery for sure.
And just kind of maybe showing you what you can endure and overcome. Since I've met you, you've always been that positive person, that looks for those challenges to overcome. So I think that's why you say it's been fun, is because it's a new type of challenge that you've never had to endure yet, and fighting through and taking it one step at a time. So good job on that.
It's also just fascinating what the human body could really endure. Because a lot of what I'm enduring, a lot of what I'm recovering from, I would have never, ever guessed that this was a thing for the human body to be able to recover in such a way and to endure such traumatic pain, but be able to come back from it. It's very fascinating to me.
So the other day you posted a picture on Facebook showing your stomach and all the scarring and stuff from the surgeries you've done. How many surgeries have you had now?
I would say I've had about 4 surgeries because I had 2 the day of right after the accident. Then I had 1 emergency surgery after I ate something that I wasn't supposed to, and then I had 1 more surgery, which is the one that just passed right now. So I've had a total of 4 surgeries so far.
Gotcha.
That scar was gnarly.
Yeah. So let's transition a little bit. Let's talk about some of the good stuff you got going on. You know, through this recovery, you've been slowly getting your company started back up, and that's Southwest Independent Lucha Libre or Skill. And let's talk about that, man. Like, I know this has been a little bit of challenging to, be recovering and, still trying to get things back going like you want. But talk about that some for us.
Well, like you said, getting back into the whole business was very jarring experience. There was just so much going on, so many places that I was very much contemplating on whether or not I should return as quickly as I am right now, especially with my injuries. I did not know what to expect in the months to come. However, everything has been going a lot better, and the community here in Dodge City has just been tremendous throughout this entire event. And
Nice.
with them by my side, I've been able to be more encouraged to continue bringing skill to Dodge City. And it's something of what provides that humbling experience of before when we started skill last year, it was a situation of do the people want wrestling in Dodge City? Do the people care that there's wrestling in Dodge City? And this year, especially since my accident, it's been more people saying we need wrestling, we need the chanclador, we need all of these skill events to happen this year, not just for ourselves, so that we could celebrate those little moments that we have here, but as well as for the kids, because the kids, they love it. They love coming to the shows. They love bringing their lucha masks and bringing their little chanclas, and they just love everything about skill. And so it's been really fun bringing this what comes next in the skills chapter. May 4th of 2025, Sunday, May 4th, will be our first official comeback show here in Dodge City. So we are very excited.
Fantastic. And so I kind of cut Bobby off on our today in wrestling history. So did you know? So this episode's releases Monday on St. Patrick's Day. Did you know it's the on this
20th
day
year anniversary?
It's the 20th anniversary of Eddie Guerrero passing.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
I was sitting here, I was like,
Wow.
man, I didn't look up today in wrestling history. So I just Googled, like, first I Googled Rey Mysterio. Well, first I Googled Luchador Wrestling. Then I Googled Rey Mysterio. Then we're like, all right, Eddie Guerrero. And then boom. I was like, whoa, that's got to be wild.
That is
20 years
crazy.
ago, man.
Wow.
So let's talk about some of your more idols. What got you into the Lucha Libre? Like, I know it's heritage, but like, what kind of piqued your interest on, man, I can do this and I want to do this and I want to be like whoever?
Well, like you said, it is heritage, but I am a first generation luchador. So this mask that I wear, the chanclador that I've become, that is all me finding myself through my tradition, through my heritage of lucha libre. And a lot of that inspiration did come from Eddie Guerrero. growing up watching Eddie Guerrero and watching Chavo Guerrero, both of Los Guerreros on SmackDown, and just getting the titles and everything that they represented for La Raza just really spoke to me and really just made me proud of my heritage. And growing up, especially in Dodge City, where we had a Hispanic community, but sometimes weren't able to be proud of our Hispanic community, that of which Viva la Raza, and seeing Rey Mysterio, seeing Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, they were a huge inspiration in me bringing the Chanclador to life. But I also watched a lot of Juventud Guerrera. Juventud was a huge inspiration in WCW. That is why I have the opening of my mask for my
Love
hair.
it.
I would always see Juvi wrestling with his hair going everywhere, and I said, "That's the guy. I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to be high flying, crazy, and I want to have just that energy." He brought so much energy with him to the ring. I could remember one of the earliest matches that I saw was Juvi going against Eddie for the first time, and Juvi took Guerrera and Eddie Guerrero just going at it was one of the matches that I said, that is, if I could do that, I will be happy with life.
Yeah, them two fantastic. The Lucha Libre style is such a unique style in itself. Learning a lot of basing and the different stuff that the luchadors do is it's fun to watch, and it's awesome to see one of my friends, bringing that back to America, to Dodge City. So good job on that, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I honestly didn't know what luchador wrestling was until Nacho Libre came out. Like, I knew that I knew what Rey Mysterio was, right? But I just thought he was a wrestler that came out in a mask. I didn't actually know and understand like the actual like foundation of luchador wrestling. Like, I never even heard it until he would bring it up. But I was like, okay, yeah, I guess he's just saying something Spanish. But I was way off because that's a whole nother lifestyle. Because when you guys had me announce, I was like, oh no, he's going to have me announce Hispanic names. This is not good. I did not pass Spanish in high school, junior high, or whatever grade I took it in.
And
Listen, there was
and
a
don't
time or
get
two,
it.
I'm sure I messed up their names a lot.
Yes. And I mean, and that's
Well,
all
the
part
name
of
means a lot.
And that's all a part of the learning experience of Lucha Libre, because even when I debuted in Kansas, we were one of the only luchadores, Brusador and myself. We were just about the only true Hispanic mask-wearing wrestlers in Kansas. And so for a lot of people, it was like, look, there's Nacho Libre, there's Rey Mysterio. Those were the only two that people knew. And so in early on in our careers, there was just a lot of Nacho Libre chants, and a lot of me would go around in town, and I would go work out in my lucha mask, and they'd say, that's a really nice Rey Mysterio mask you got there. And I'm like, yeah, this this is the Rey Mysterio.
And honestly, when I actually,
Right.
and when I actually understood what it was, have you ever seen Ray Donovan?
No.
Have you ever heard of Ray Donovan? It was an old HBO or a Showtime show. They had this. One of the brothers ends up marrying a female lucha. What's the name for those? It's not just luchador. It's luchadora. And like, that's actually how I understood what the whole idea of luchador wrestling was all about. Like, was of watching that show. It was kind of weird.
Nice.
Pretty cool. But no, I actually had I was curious about this. Now, I don't want to mispronounce it. De Apuestas. Does that sound too, like, am I pronouncing that way wrong? Where you guys wrestle for your mask and your hair?
Oh, you mean the apuestas. So the apuestas is that of what
apuesta.
you mean.
Okay.
Which is a bet. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that is the traditional.
Wow.
The traditional lucha libre is betting your mask against another luchador's mask. It's a lucha apuestas match. And there's been many variations nowadays on the independent lucha scene where they go mask versus mask versus hair. They do mask versus career. You know, it can get up there pretty entertaining with those lucha apuestas matches.
Now, is the hair a significant thing for like the wrestling part of it, or is that a Mexican heritage thing?
That is a Mexican heritage thing. A lot of where our tradition, a lot of what our strengths, we believe in the Aztec culture that through our hair we have much wisdom, we have much faith, we have much abilities that if I were to cut all of my hair off, I would become a completely different person because I cut my hair off.
Because I know the Rastafarians do that for like when they have a child, they like sacrifice their hair. So I didn't know if that was like kind of the same lines of like the meaning behind it.
It's similar to the meaning.
Okay. I just didn't know if you'd ever taken part in one of those matches, or, I mean, I'm assuming that mask is pretty OG.
Yes, no. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to do so. The closest that I have been to a match of that stipulation was for my chanclas, because I was challenged last year for my Aztec chanclas in a match of where I feel like I should have had complete advantage, but another group of individuals decided to take it upon themselves to steal my chanclas from me. But we could talk about that later.
Oh, them dirty dogs. Dirty dogs.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, since you've been, everybody knows you were a big part of Chancla Violence and with Bruisador. And so Bruisador's kind of had to go on the singles run for a little bit. So you've been keeping up with his single stuff and things going on that he's doing outside right now while you're recovering?
Yes, because at this moment I am unable to wrestle, I still help Brusador as his manager at the moment. So even though I am not present at every match, even though I might not be at his corner every time he wrestles, I still make sure I know what Brusador is doing, and I still make sure that Brusador remembers why we are fighting for our dreams.
So let's segue into HCW a little bit. So Bruisador has an opportunity this coming month on the 29th. He's facing Chris Vale in a match to get into a six-way ladder match for that Heartland title. I know you're no stranger to Vale, so what do you think of that match?
Oh, man. Coming from a couple of years of tag team action and then going straight into the heavyweight title picture, nevertheless, is something to be said about the luchador that Brusador is. But when you put him across the ring from cutthroat Chris Vale, someone who I have known for many years now, he was actually a part of the very first match that I wrestled in the KWA. And so seeing Bale and Brusador now come one-on-one is definitely a full circle moment. It's definitely one that the fans are going to eat with that match. That is going to be Japan strong style versus Lucha strong style. There probably won't be any room for any fancy luchas in this match. It is going to be a fight. And it is one that Brusador will prove why his name is literally violence.
Nice. And then another person close to you is Hector De Oro. And I know them two, Bruiser and Hector, been tag teaming around the country a little bit in different areas. But Hector's in his own qualifying match released today, where he'll face Christian Temple to get into that same ladder match.
And there's another name that I'm very, very familiar with. Christian Temple and I have known each other since I started my wrestling career. And for as much as we were at each other's throats many, many years, I considered him a dear mentor and a close friend. But in the situations like this, the future is bright with Hector De Oro. And although Hector, has only been around for maybe a couple of years, he's grown. He's grown tremendously. He's that much smarter. He's that much more confident on how he moves in the ring. And yes, he does let other influences get to him at times. He does let his anger get the best of him. But when the Toro de Oro gets going, once he manifests that raging bull that's inside him, I don't know. I can't see Temple being able to overcome that. Temple, for the veteran that he is and for the athleticism that he possesses, I just think it's time for him to realize that the future is golden with Hector De Oro.
So with that being said, we all know you're no stranger to Dick Richards. Dick Richards has done some shady stuff here lately. And at this last show, Hector almost punched him in the mouth. What do you think about that?
You know, I have a love-hate relationship with Dickie Richards. You know, he definitely has that friendship that you want to keep beside you, but you sometimes just want to punch in the face. I mean, in
that.
In HCW, I love Dickie Richards. I love him. I owe Dickie Richards so much to my career, to keeping my chanclas right where I need them to be at all times. And when it comes down to paying us in tortas and tacos and taking us to Applebee's, Dick Richards is always there. But the second I let him into skill and I give him all of these advantages, he just goes and steals my chanclas and he goes and steals my business. He acts like he owns the place. He acts like this is all his.
Now you know how I feel.
Only he owns half of your company.
And technically, you signed that contract. I did not sign a contract. I just said you could show up whenever, but that was also on me, I guess. So
he just made himself at home at your company.
Yes. And he invited some friends of his, some outlaws of his, and he decided that a lot of people that he liked that had issues with me just because I hit him one time with the chancla. And now he's making my life a fun adventure here in Dodge City. But I have a feeling that Mr. Richards will realize that at the end of the day, as he says best, it is only business. And what we have in store for him is going to be a fun time.
Nice.
Okay, so I guess to go ahead.
One thing for sure is that I never forgot the last thing that Dick Richards did to chancla violence before we took our hiatus. So when I return to HCW, we're going to have some fun.
Uh-oh.
So the last thing he did was he took the belt from Hector, the Out of Luck Championship, and made you guys turn it in for your second chance at the HCW, the now HCW Tag Team Championships. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, and it was a fantastic early Christmas gift bonus. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for what Dicky did for us, but that is one of the things that I say that Hector is just a little too young to understand that he should have kept that for himself. We're big boys, and we've dominated the tag team division for almost 2 years now. So it's like we don't necessarily need handouts. We prefer to earn our title shots. And I love Dicky and I thank him for what he did, but there will be some renewing of contracts hopefully soon when I see him. He hasn't answered any of my phone calls nor returned any of my emails. So I guess we'll just have to see when I see him again.
You know, looking at the future, there will be a point that you're back in an HCW ring. Will that time put you still with Dick Richards? Or do you think the fans will cheer the crap out of you? Because I think when you come back, you're not going to be able to be with Dick Richards.
It will be a bittersweet moment because, again, I very much respect and love Dick Richards. But he knows business is business. And what's best for business when I return is for the fans to decide. I've been very grateful to see all of the fans supporting HCW, supporting me. I was watching the other HCW show when the fans started cheering for me and started just being so grateful for everything I've done, regardless of how many people I've hit with my chanclas. They still cheer. They still want more of the chanclador hitting people with chanclas. And, you know, who's to say that when I come back, I won't be on the side of the fans? But if Dicky Richards has a persuasive conclusion and a beautiful opportunity, then again, it's what's best for business.
He's saying if the money's right.
Okay, so if the money's right for you, is the money going to be right for Bruisador?
Oh, see, and that's where things get really fun. See, it's easy right now because Bruisador, without me, sometimes lets his emotions run high and takes the decisions on by himself. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to control Brusa. I'm not going to tell him what he can or can't do. I'm not Dicky Richards. You know, violencia y paz will forever be chancla violence, and we will forever be the luchadores of Kansas. And we will either be in the ring together fighting as one, or we will prove one by one why we belong in Kansas wrestling history. But Dicky Richards, well, let's just hope he brings the right type of torta to the meeting and we can go from there.
He needs a gold torta.
Sounds like Jose's mom needs to whip up some good tortillas because I don't see that happening anytime soon.
That is very true.
Angel, you got to eat any of your favorites any here lately? Or are you still kind of restricted?
So there was a time between the second surgery and the third surgery where I was allowed to eat whatever I pleased. So I did at that point was able to get some tacos, get a burrito. I was able to buy myself a little nice steak to enjoy the evening. So I have been able to enjoy some of what are my favorite foods. Currently, at the moment, however, I'm still on a low fiber diet, allowing my digestive system to really heal and very much process the foods that I'm intaking. So I hope that by the end of the month, I should be good to eat a torta once more and be able to munch on my favorite munchies. But until then, I will take it slow.
Listen, I hope because I plan on coming down for your Cinco de Mayo show, and hopefully we can have a taco together. You know me, I love them dang street tacos.
Oh yes, we will definitely make that happen. I will for
I have
sure be
tacos twice
ready
a
by
week.
then.
Nice.
Carne asada is where to go, bro.
Listen, there's a lot of good tacos.
Have you been to that place across the street from Fiesta Grande here in town?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Los Barbas?
Yeah. Yeah, they got some good food. Listen, Angel traveled with me a time or two, and he takes me to some good places.
Well, Dodge City has the taco trucks, like hardcore, don't they?
Oh yes, but Amarillo, Texas. When we went to Amarillo together, very good taco trucks that they had over there as well too. You know, you just gotta go to the locations of where it looks like they're closed, and it looks like if you look at
A hole
someone
in the
the right
wall
way.
is the best place to go.
Yes, of course. Very much.
like beer
very much
tacos?
so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Listen, he had a burrito taco. I say that word wrong every time. So, but he had a show, and they had a burrito taco outside. Oh my gosh.
Yes, my very good friend owned Charros Birria, and the birria that he had, the tacos, they had quesadillas, they had burritos. The birria there was just spectacular.
So we talked a little bit about a couple matches for May for us, but do you have any matches set up already for Skill?
Well, there is one in particular that I do have that I can announce today, and that is a very intense matchup of a rivalry that started at one of the first skill shows in Dodge City, Kansas back in February. A deadbeat by the name of DB Cooper decided to come and trash all of the luchas at skill and continued to do so for the remainder of last year. And in his quest of dominating all of the luchadores, he made the fatal mistake of coming toe-to-toe with Silencio.
Oh.
And so Silencio and DB have some unfinished business, and they will be taking care of that unfinished business as the main event on May 4th.
Oh, you hear that, everybody. So DB Cooper versus Silencio for the main event at Skill Southwest Independent Lucha Libre. That's an announcement. Thank you for that.
Of course. And many
I think I saw
more.
DB on I-70 Hot Tag once. Was he on there?
Yeah, he wrestles a lot in Amarillo for Bomb City bar fights, and then I know he did a lot of stuff down with Skill and Angel.
Okay. I haven't been to a Dodge City show. The only thing with Luchador that I've done is the Wichita event.
Oh, yes, the tattoo convention.
Yeah.
That was fun. But, I mean, I got in a little bit of a bumper bender after that show, and maybe Luchador's not my way to go.
And that's
Go ahead, Angel.
That is what DB tries to say. Anytime he has a fender bender or a flat tire, he tries to blame the luchas. So that is why we have to
I ain't going to blame you. I ain't going to blame you. It was just bad luck.
Good choice.
So, I had something and now I lost it. Damn it!
I had a question for the HEW. I don't want to reverse back, but I do kind of want to highlight something. We've got two Chanclas that are going to be in the contention for the HEW title. Okay. Angel, as you know, I mean, your next show coming back to HEW is still up in the air. If, say, Hector versus Chancla Violence or Violencia, or who is it? Bruisador, my bad. Violencia. If they're in the main event for the HEW Heartland title, are you going to make an appearance?
Maybe. I might. Who's to say? You know, if I do show up, I must be on the side of my Bruisador, and I must.
That's what I was exactly fixing to ask.
You know, If I show up, I have to be.
Who does Dickie come out with, you think?
I think Dickie should do the educational thing and stay in the back. Because if he does show up, and I show up, and Brusador and Hector all show up, then we might not have the best reunion that everybody wants us to have. I know. I suggest Dickie stay in the back. And I suggest if I do show up, to just let me take care of the new future heavyweight champion of HCW, Luchador Violencia. Because I love Hector. I really do. He has become like a little brother to me. And knowing him and Brusador are traveling now together and teaming together, that makes me happy. But if they're both in a ladder match together, and out of respect for the older brother, Hector needs to make sure he takes everyone out and he lets Bruiser climb to the top.
So you said Hector should sacrifice himself to make sure Bruisador comes out victorious.
Yes, if he sacrifices himself, then we all win, because then we could finally get to see Hector de Oro versus Brusador Violencia for that title. And truly, that is what everybody wants. I know. I could see it. I hear the audience, and I know that that is something that is truly building up, and the tensions have been high. So, in my tradition, in growing up in Mexico and growing up with my cousins and my family, the only true way to be able to determine on who's wrong or who's right is to fight.
All right. Well, that answers my question.
Huh, interesting. It's an interesting thing. You know, I don't know if the young bulls might feel the same way on that one, but we'll see.
He might still have a bad taste in his mouth, but I think everybody wishes that Dickie stays in the back, but that never happens.
I mean, he's always got something up his damn sleeve.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, the first match that with Hector versus Paradox, he even brought out a stack of money to pay out Paradox, and that didn't go over too well.
Well, the second match, he added somebody into Hector's match,
who he played favorites for. How do you feel about that, by the way?
And he didn't go well there either.
He played favorites towards Gavin Bush, and everybody on here has said, "Man, that Gavin Bush, like it's always that Gavin Bush." How do you feel about Mr. That Gavin Bush?
You know, Gavin is he's adorable. He's very adorable. I had Gavin at Skill, and I had him in a quite bit of a position where I told him, today is your shot to prove that you belong with the Luchas and to see if you could actually hang with the Skill roster. And he took a beating, and he delivered as much entertainment as he could, and the fans, they loved him here. The fans, they wanted more of that gorgeous Gavin Bush.
Is that the one with him and Stormy?
Yes. And that is why I was very afraid for him. I told him, like, I am giving you the strongest competitor I have in Stormy Renee, and she is not here to play today. So you be careful out there, and if you could survive this, then we can talk.
Bro, you ever been hit by her?
Oh man. Like,
she hits harder than most dudes.
Oh yeah. I hit her, I smacked her in the bottom with my chancla, and I swear I forgot what happened next.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of women, and I don't want to get off the wrestling track, but I do think that I think you've highlighted some stuff on your Facebook about your significant other, right? I think that I mean, she deserves some spotlight too with what's been going on. Like, didn't she have to kind of close up shop in Colorado and then kind of move stuff down to where you guys are?
Yes, unfortunately, at the time of the accident, we were actually getting ready to move her to Colorado because she was going to continue her photography business over there. There was a handful of wrestling promotions in Colorado that wanted her to actually start taking pictures for those promotions. and as well as her old clientele from when she first started wanted to continue with her and wanted to just see how she was doing and help support her as well. But due to everything that happened, she was unable to. She moved back together with me, and she has been by my side the entire time.
And what was her name again? I don't actually know her name, I don't think.
Adriana Wicker Carvajal.
Okay.
Yes, Adriana has been with me with wrestling for about a year, 2 years now. I actually started talking with her when we did an event here in that city. We did a Kansas Special Olympics event where the promotion needed a photographer, and Adriana was the first person I called, and she came over and she took these incredible pictures of us, of WWE legend Jimmy Hart, Lex Luger. She got to be involved with all of that, and she's had done tremendous work with all of the pictures for skill. She did a lot of fun pictures for HCW, and she's really the reason why we look as professional as we look.
Look, and she's just fantastic. I remember the message she sent me that night, and kept me updated with your status and stuff the much she can. And I can only imagine where her brain was. So to deal with all of that and still keep your friends and your family and stuff updated and stuff, that takes a lot. For her to just step away from what she was going to make sure you were good says a lot about her character and who she is as a person. And she'll always be family as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, she would love to hear that, and I'll be sure to let her know that because yes, she was with me the night the accident happened. She was there holding my hand as I was throwing up blood. Like she's been there with me, waiting in waiting rooms while I was in surgery, just trying to calm herself down and do the best that she could to update everybody. And I know for a fact that the moment the accident happened, she also contacted Brusador and she asked Brusa if he knew anything that had happened, if he knew that where I was until she found out where I was and how I was. And so she has been 100% the biggest supporter that I've had throughout this recovery and the best person I could have by my side.
Fantastic. So, Angel, what's your goals for this coming year? Obviously, I would think at some point to be able to step back through the ropes. But give me some goals for your company, goals for your you as a wrestler and yourself. Let us know what you think.
My goals for this year are pretty straightforward, in my opinion. I am going to continue promoting wrestling lucha libre training here in Dodge City. I just got two new trainees that are both transitioning from jiu-jitsu into pro wrestling. So they are two young, exciting individuals that are learning at a good, rapid pace, and I'm very excited to have both of them involved. And I have a couple more that are being interested in starting. So one of the goals that I have is at least to have a class of about 10 students, if possible, here in Dodge City. If I could have five just steady students, five steady people that I have training consecutively in the next year, I'll be very satisfied, very happy. So that is a big goal of mine is to be able to take all of the knowledge that I have, all of the knowledge that I have learned throughout the years and really bring in the new generation of wrestlers and luchadores. I also hope to have at least three good shows, three impactful shows for skill here in Dodge City. Maybe one or two of them in Garden City, if that is possible. I know that the people, my family of Hidden Trail Brewing, really is excited for us to get back on our feet and return to Garden City so that we can promote in Garden City once more. So to have at least one or two Garden City shows is definitely a top priority, as well as with the shows that I am having currently here in Dodge. A very important show that we are going to be doing that was confirmed and announced last week was we will officially be partnering with Special Olympics Kansas once more on September 20th of this year to bring them a benefit show where all of the ticket sales and all the proceeds will return back to the Special Olympics Kansas and all of their activities. So that is one of those full circle moments for me where when I first worked with them, I was just wrestling and just a luchador at the time. And now I get to be the promoter. I get to have my company be represented with them. And I hope that continues for the years to come to then hopefully, who knows, maybe be able to do a collaboration with HCW and Skill for the Special Olympics Kansas. I think that would be something very beautiful for us to be able to do this in the next coming years. Top priority for myself and for my trainees that I have right now is we are definitely excited for that Brutal Bob seminar that is going to be happening on June 14th at HCW.
So we had to move that to a different date. Bob didn't realize he had already booked something that date, so we have moved that to October.
October,
But
okay.
we are still doing it, but we have moved that to October now.
As long as we are still doing it, that is
Yeah.
100% what I am excited for. When I first ventured on transitioning from wrestling to promoter, I looked up a lot of Bob Evans seminars and I very much invested into Bob Evans and what he had online to offer. So to be able to meet Bob Evans, because I've actually never met him in person, and to meet him for the first time and to be able to talk to him about everything, it's just I'm very excited to learn.
That's fantastic. Yeah, he's been a mentor to me for quite a while now, so probably close to 10 years. And I'm excited to get him down and actually get to meet Kevin Kelly in person also because I haven't got to meet him in person. I've had a couple conversations with him, and he's just a book of knowledge also. So I'm excited for it.
That's fantastic. That is awesome. Yes, and that is what I want to do. I want to do the best to recover myself due to this accident when I, on January 2nd, was the last time that I had gone to the gym and weighed myself after my workout routine over the holidays. And I was at 175 pounds with 20% body fat. This was the healthiest and the best that I had looked in many years. And because of the accident and every surgery that I've had and what I've had to recover, I am now down to 156 pounds. And so currently what I'm very much focusing on is getting back into the gym, doing the little bits that I can little by little to be able to simply do a Hindu squat, to simply be able to do a push-up again, and to be able to build my body back, build everything back physically and mentally, so that when I am ready to get back into that ring and get ready to fly off those ropes one more time, I know that I don't have to be scared. I know that I don't have to be worried about injuring myself immediately after one match or two. I just want to be able to come back as strong as when I left.
Gotcha. See, you're happy you did a push up. You're happy you jumped off, or you can jump off the rope. I would be happy to see a 1 in front of my weight again. I'm just saying.
Listen, I tell people, like, they're like, oh, you're a big dude. I said, yeah, I haven't been under 300 pounds since 7th grade. And that's a shoot.
And I haven't. I don't. I mean, I don't want to. I think I've been under 200 pounds since 8th grade. But just to see the number 1 in front of like those 3 digits that come across that scale, the doctor would be. That'd be all right. But I don't really. I don't apply myself for that enough.
But
well, I've been one.
Go ahead.
I've
been
weighed
what?
170. I've weighed 170 pounds consistently since I started wrestling back in 2017, and my weight has always fluctuated between 165 to 175. So being anything under 160 very much made my heart just drop and made me nervous.
I haven't seen 160 since 6th grade. So, and I know that because of wrestling. So,
yeah, and then like you said, it's just gonna take time. And the good thing about you is you've always been a fighter. You've always fought for what you want and for everything you've gotten. So I feel you'll continue to do that. You'll continue to push yourself. You'll continue to get better. You'll continue to get in that ring. And you'll continue to build Southwest Kansas Independent Lucha Libre. With all that being said, Bobby, why don't we transition to a couple things for this up and coming show, and then kind of go from there.
All right. I guess last show we announced the main event, which was technically also a qualifying match for the ladder match for the main event for the HCW championship between 𝘊𝘰𝘯𝘶 and Paradox, correct?
Correct.
And then now you've recently announced Luchador versus is that Chris Vale?
It is.
And then his counterpart Hector de Oro versus his Christian Temple.
Correct.
That's now what's the last one?
So we are doing a 10-man rumble for our VIP match where the winner will become one of the entrants into the ladder match. So huge VIP news. I know our VIPs like a lot of action, and this should be a lot of it. So gives them a chance to see who that person is going to be into the ladder match. And I'm pretty sure Aaron Helms is claiming that his rematch clause should immediately get him into that ladder match. So I'll talk with Dickie a little bit and see if we want to grant that or not. But Angel, being a promoter yourself, what do you think on that? Should I grant that wish from Aaron Helms?
I always believe that you have to earn your spots, even if you don't think you need to earn your spots. But when you talk about Aaron Helms, that's a big guy. And he's been around for many, many years. And so it's one of those things where, yes, he can earn his spot, but he's proved time and time again that he belongs in that championship picture. So it's really up to Dickie on this one.
So in that is it a Battle Rumble or a Royal Rumble?
It'll be a Royal Rumble style. Okay. Everyone will get their entrance.
Okay. So if Aaron say that doesn't get agreed upon, Aaron's going to be hopefully in the Rumble. Are you going to make all your, besides obviously Ray, are we going to see a Remington Roar in that Rumble?
We'll see. I don't think Remington's available for this show, so I don't think he'll be there, which kind of hurts him in the title picture. So
yeah, me and Josh were kind of saying, like, I wonder if it's going to be the OGs besides Ray, of course. But
with Ray being injured.
Yeah, that'd be pretty intense for a ladder match for the Heartland title, for the Heartland title. So, and it'll be between Paradox.
He could handle it. He'll be fine.
Well, not even Paradox if Cole.
Well, no, wins. Yeah, I'm saying between those two for this main event coming up, and then for the ladder matches at Legacy.
Correct.
So I did want to clarify that. Any other matches that you've announced besides that? So. We also talked with Kit this last episode. You talked about him and Heidi rematching. Is that going to take place at Legacy or is that going to take place at this one?
No, so they will face each other again. Heidi wanted the rematch. Kit was down to give it to her, and so we'll definitely have Kit versus Heidi too.
How many emails did he send you?
Too many. Like, why? You could just send one, hey, I want this match. But no, you had to send 30. Dumb.
He just wanted
And
he just
then,
wanted to make sure he got heard.
He always
Paper
wants to
trail.
make sure he got heard. Angel, have you met Kit Reaver?
Once or twice, very interesting guy.
Yeah.
But he dresses fantastic. His suits fantastic.
Listen, that brings me to something. So you're super hard tradition on you and your guys being in nice attire with your mask on when you're not. So when you're promoting or when you're at events and stuff. Talk about that. Talk about why you do that and what you is there tradition behind that? Like, give us an explanation.
We are professionals. We have to show how professional we can be. We have to show that we are larger than life, and the suits and how we dress and represent ourselves, especially in the public eye, that means a lot. And it is traditional when it comes down to it. I mean, you see pictures of Hijo de Santos or Blue Demon. You see even a few pictures here and there of Eddie Guerrero if he was at the Hall of Fame, or certain aspects of that. You have to represent yourself. And for us, I mean, for me personally, when I was a little kid growing up, if I went to an event and I wasn't with a suit and a cowboy hat, my mom had the chancla ready and ready to tell me that I had to change and that I had to look better. And it was no exception. So that is what we do, is we always suit up. We always represent ourselves. If there is a time and place, we can, like right now, just relax and be ourselves. We can show up to fight. But if you show up and people want pictures and people want to see what a luchador stands for, then you have to be dressing nice.
And I'll highlight Hector on that one. He shows up dressed to the nines every show, even at HCW. So I don't know how he dresses outside of HCW, but I'm assuming it's probably the same, if not better.
I've seen Angel gripe at both of them. You better be in your suits or you're doing Hindu squats.
Oh, I just assumed that was Hector's. I just assumed that was Hector's like clothing style.
Oh, it is now.
Oh yeah, it is now. When I found Hector, he was just basketball shorts and cutoffs, But if he
I
wants
would never have guessed that looking at him.
If you want to see Hector de Oro, this is Hector de Oro. What happened before, I don't care about. But this, how he represents himself, if he does not show up like that, there is always a chancla waiting for him at the end.
Uh-oh. And he hasn't even slacked since you've been gone, so I think he's holding that to truth.
He knows I see
Bruiser was out
everything.
last show, so, I mean, he could have slacked a little bit, but he chose not to. So
He knows I
as
see.
trainers, everything gets back to us, huh, Angel?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't shake a hand. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
So, going back to the HCW show, okay, we've talked. Were there any other matches that were a rematch that we had coming up that we talked about?
No, I know that Chance has called out Blade again, so that match is scheduled to go on. But after the beating that he gave him at the last show, why he'd want that again, I don't know.
He's
Maybe
crazy.
because he bloodbathed his wife on top of him.
He's crazy.
Yeah,
Or was it because she was in the body bag?
I mean, either one of them's pretty bad. But
who owns a body bag, by the way? That's just a weird purchase off Amazon, right?
What Simon does, Simon is allowed to do just way over there. I don't question Simon.
Neither do I. I just was like, man, I wonder where he got. That was the first. I was like, where did he get that?
So, Angel, you paid attention to the last HCW show, correct?
Correct.
Did you see who made their official debut with them?
Yes, I did.
Do you think that he joins the Seventh Seal?
That all depends. Personally, I think the Seven Seals can dominate themselves. I think they have what it takes. I'm huge on Balisong. I love the way Simon is now taking over Balisong because Simon is really bringing out the version of the Seven Seal that I have been waiting to see. But with the debut that we saw this last show, it's more destruction can definitely happen if that all comes together. And that is, in a sense, they are just paying tradition to what Empire paved the way for them to do.
Ooh. And for listeners, they are referring to Kuda.
Correct.
So, I was going to say, I was like, well, you had 3 or 4 debuts, but the big one was Kuda. And nobody knows if she was out there scoping out Kuda or Aaron Helms.
All I have to say is that when Empire formed, Kuda was there. Now that Seven Seals have formed, Kuda is there. Coincidence? I think not.
Interesting.
Now, what about your tag team match? We also talked about that too. That's a rematch coming in. Is that going to be for Legacy or is that going to be for Last Chance?
This will be for Last Chance. It is ACFC and Native Combat from the Coda brand. They had a controversial finish. Like there was 2 pins that happened. Both the legal and the non-legal were pinned on each side, and it was a controversial finish.
That would be a no contest, right?
Well, the referee called that ACFC won, so they remain the tag title champs, and Coda Brand wasn't happy about that, so they will get a rematch, but they won it in a tornado tag match. And so what a tornado tag match means they don't have to tag in and out. It means they can all be in there at the same time and just go at it. And whoever gets the pinfall will be the new champions.
That's what were you going to say?
One of my personal favorites.
And in tornado tag match, a luchador style match also?
More of a luchador tag match is if one person goes out of the ring, the other person can be in there.
Oh, okay. They just don't have to tag at that
correct.
point.
They don't have to tag at that point.
Yes, that is correct.
I knew there was something about not tagging.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And I think that's all is that all the matches?
That's the ones that have been announced. So, and that's quite a few. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was other ones that we didn't highlight that you had on the I guess schedule that people were.
Those are the big ones right now.
Okay. So the ones that are like people will be watching for are really sticking out right there are those.
Well, Angel, with that being said, man, you want to give some shout outs to let everybody know where they can find you, stuff like that. Give us some information on that.
Yes, of course. Well, you can find me on Facebook, Ángel de Paz. You could look up Chancla Violence. I'm still everywhere Chancla Violence is found. My Instagram is El Chanclador Ángel de Paz. And of course, follow Skill. Follow Skill Lucha Pro, Southwest Kansas Independent Lucha Libre. A lot of my time right now will be focused on Skill and on bringing Skill back to where we left off. So maybe I return once or twice to HCW. Maybe you see me in other promotions here and there, but for sure you will find me in Dodge City, Garden City, with Southwest Kansas Independent Lucha Libre.
Fantastic.
And let's not forget, they have one more raffle at this show for.
Correct. So we will do one more raffle. It's a bench donated from Boogie Builds. So we'll do that this show. The last show, I think we was able to send you a $250 to help out. So hopefully we'll get that plus. And then Angel, do you still have your things out for people to help if they want to help in your recovery?
Yes, yes, I do. I still have my GoFundMe that is going. I could share it with you as well so that you could post it for everybody to see, but I still have my GoFundMe
just send it to me and I'll
going.
tag it in the video.
For sure, for sure.
Yep.
So my GoFundMe is still available. If I am clear to travel, I will see when I can make it to the next couple of HCW shows, and I can be there in person for people to buy some new merch that I have been getting and been purchasing for this time of having the people, give me money and raise money for me. I very much love it and appreciate it, but I always want to give something back for those who supported me. So right now I'm really trying to get some new exclusive Chanclador shirts. I want to get some new exclusive Chanclador hats. We are looking into getting beanies, stickers, anything that we can think of to give back for those who want to give to us at the moment.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Well, brother, I've appreciated your time and can't wait to see you again. But you have officially been chopped with Bumping Chops. Later.
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 Running roads in the world of pro wrestling with a big wheel show. From the top rope to the depths below. The warriors in the ring, we've got where to go. Blood, sweat, and tears, it's a battle of the wills. We bring the heart to the heartland. Heart to the heartland. Turn the volume up, they can hear from hell. Everyone's ready, so let's ring the bell. Ding, 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 let's start the clock. HV